we'll visit an island where life has remained unchanged for centuries.
Хочется есть и пить, а нам еще далеко. Мне кажется, мы зря затеяли это восхождение. Рубль 52.
Hi, my name is Julia Buraleva. I'm an art photographer, traveler, and the creator of the Art Expedition Project. This project is where I bring together my two main passions in life, art photography and exploring unique places and people around the planet. Our releases are not just travel diaries, but primarily stories about creating art photography during journeys, involving professional and amateur models, random fellow travelers, locals, or even taking self-portraits when there are no other models around. On my Art Expedition channel, you'll witness the story of a grand adventure, the goal of which is to create art. Let's dive in. We're approaching Isla del Sol. Here's a tiny port on a tiny island in the middle of Lake Titicaca. Here's the little house where we rented a room. There's only one power socket, no Wi-Fi, and the toilet is outside. I don't know, I'm ready to lie down and stare out of this window for at least a week. The Isla del Sol is a wonderful place for a digital detox. Even just for a day, there aren't even any car roads here, and I've long dreamed of experiencing such true silence where no sounds of civilization can reach you. We've charged up with vitamins from freshly squeezed juice, and now we're off to see how the island lives.
Смотри, как это красочно. Мы решили тут посидеть на камушке, переждать, пока пройдут ослы. А то один уже нас чуть не легнул. Ну, пытался легнуть, но не попал, не достал. И мы что-то их теперь побаиваемся. И хотим... Вон они идут с хозяйкой.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
¿Peligrosos? ¿Pueden golpear?
No.
Вот еще сейчас сидели, смотрели на проходящих этих пастушков, женщин с осликами. Но тут реально жизнь, как была 500 лет назад, изменений глобальных явно не произошло, потому что вот только туристы время от времени стали приезжать, и для них построили пару хостелов и пару кафешек. Это на одном кусочке острова. А вокруг мы прогулялись. Люди живут тут сельским натуральным хозяйством. Животные, ламы, курочки, овечки. Для них, наверное, все, что происходит вообще вне этого острова, настолько далеко не интересно. Просто представили, как они... Насколько для них все это не важно. Какие-нибудь выборы в США, война с Украиной. Да вообще все, что угодно. Да, даже выборы, я думаю, в их собственной стране.
Cottage, table, chair, territory. But what a wonderful view. After sunset, we were treated to a view of the 6,000ers, the Cordillera Real. Absolutely stunning beauty. On the way to the hostel, we heard a local amateur orchestra rehearsing. Later, it turned out that trumpet players and drummers are literally in every village in Bolivia, and this became an inspiration for one of my upcoming shoots on the art expedition. But more about that in the next episodes. Here is the most illuminated street on this island. There are several shops, some pastry shops, Another quirk of life away from civilization. For example, our only power outlet. Devices only charge when the lights in the room are turned off. So it's either lights on or electricity in the outlet. We were told that to reduce the symptoms of altitude sickness, we need to gain even more altitude and then descend to a more familiar height. This should improve our condition. And improving our condition is essential because the day after tomorrow, we need to arrive at our main location, the Uyuni Salt Flats, where we'll be shooting for 4 consecutive days. By that time, our bodies need to have adapted to the altitude. Well, let's give it a try.
Третий день пошел на этой высоте, но улучшений состояния физического не наблюдается. Все еще все равно. Очень сильная одышка, и сейчас мы поднимаемся в гору, и приходится каждую минуту останавливаться. И так, ну, сейчас слышно, наверное, как я дышу. В общем, надеюсь, осилим.
I've always wanted to visit this island. I love places steeped in legends. The Isla del Sol, according to the legend of the indigenous people, is the place where the son of the sun, the great Inca, the ancestor of all Incas, was born. And here, many different ancient ruins have been preserved. Here, for example, is a place for sacrifices. I suspect that not only chickens were butchered on this table, but also someone's heads were rolling. The local tourists arrived from the mainland. The purpose of the labyrinth, to be honest, I don't know. I usually Google after the trip what I saw and what it was, because you never know in advance what interesting things you will come across, and when you see them with your own eyes, you can already request information. Irina went into the labyrinth. I don't know if we'll see each other again.
Лабиринт явно строили люди, которые намного ниже меня ростом. Потому что я уже несколько раз долбанулась об камни головой. Обращаем к богам молитвы.
Make a wish right now, and may the power of the Incas be with you. Write in the comments what wish you made. I have a soft spot for, during hiking I can just fall asleep for about 20 minutes anywhere, on rocks, on logs, wherever I can. Now on my list is to sleep in the Inca labyrinth. But we need to go higher.
Поднимаемся на самую высокую точку. Isla del Sol. Это уже будет, наверное, 4000 метров, потому что метров 200 от воды мы брали. Очень хочется есть и пить, а нам еще далеко.
Значит, следующее питье и еда будет на горе, потому что у нас осталось по одному банану и совсем немножко напитка из коки. Все.
Dear me, what unimaginable beauty. I think I've already forgotten about food and water. Down there is our village where we stayed, and I think we've climbed about 200-300 meters.
Никогда еще так не вожделела кусок сухого мяса.
You know what's the most challenging part of such projects? The most challenging part is not to forget why you're here. What's the goal and purpose of this trip? After spending several days in the wilderness, you're so detached from your usual context that remembering that you need to shoot for YouTube, post stories, etc. is very difficult. We've spent several days now in the wilderness, surrounded by people who live just as they did centuries ago, without the internet. It's like you're on a different planet already, and time flows differently for you, and you slowly start to forget about your old life. It's very hard to refocus, almost impossible. the context changes, and you completely switch to a different context where everything you came here for becomes unimportant. And maintaining that focus on shooting, that's probably the most important and most difficult task. We had descended from the mountain and already laid down to sleep when we heard the sounds of music, apparently coming from a rural discotheque. We were terribly eager to sleep, but curiosity outweighed, and we got up and went. We arrived at the sounds of music, and indeed, the locals are partying. Right now in Bolivia, it's days of carnivals and celebrations. Tomorrow we have another early rise and a long day of travel ahead, lasting a day. First, in the morning, a ferry that will take us back to the mainland in Copacabana, then a bus from Copacabana to La Paz, the capital of Bolivia, and in La Paz, the next overnight bus to the Uyuni salt flats, the main goal of the art expedition. In the next episode, for this place, we flew across the ocean. It's a piece of art in itself. We're in the world's largest salt desert, Uyuni, and only 2 months a year during the rainy season does it look like the world's largest mirror. We're picking up the pace. Now it's 2 shoots a day. But the weather dictates its terms. Subscribe to the Art Expedition channel and we promise you more madness and adventures for the sake of art. Hit the like button, leave comments, questions, ideas, and suggestions. While we're fueled by pure enthusiasm, traveling, production, and the team require resources, please support the Art Expedition. Click the link in the channel description and tap on Buy Me a Coffee. It's a quick and easy way to contribute any amount of money without registration, subscription, or complicated transfers. And subscribe to my Patreon, where you'll have access to exclusive, uncensored content, photos, videos, and behind-the-scenes footage. The link is also in the channel description. All funds will go towards creating art.